Plaintiff Nicholas Dean met the defendant on Facebook, and 3 months after they started dating, the defendant got pregnant. Nicholas claims while together, he relapsed on cocaine, and the defendant kicked him out, but she refused to return his property, so he's suing. Defendant Megan Lester says while dating Nicholas, she had no idea he relapsed until she heard a voicemail from Nicholas's drug dealer saying Nicholas owed him money. At that point, Megan kicked Nicholas out because she feared for her safety, and she disposed of his property so the drug dealer wouldn't come looking for it.
Start with you.
Me and Megan met in March of 2013. The relationship took off really fast. We met on Facebook, and within 3 months, I found out that we were pregnant. So I decided to
Like the way you refer to that, we.
Okay. So I decided to move in with her and her 3 children and, give this family thing a go. Same month we got together, we moved in with each other. I found out that my 13-year-old daughter was in some serious legal dilemma. So we had to go out of town every weekend to see her. The following month, my mother died.
That was June?
July.
July. Mm-hmm.
It was really traumatic. Me and my mother were really close because she was all I had, because my father and I never had a relationship. As me and my brother were cleaning up the house and straightening up, getting her affairs in order, we found a large stash of money. And we took the money.
Like how much?
$35,000, sorry.
Wow.
We took the money and paid for her funeral, and we split the rest. And
where you find it? I'm just curious. What was the person? She had a safe or under the mattress?
No,
that doesn't fit under the mattress.
She was tucking it away in a drawer in her nightstand.
Really?
It was nuts.
Isn't that something?
Kinda like
that is great, though. Wow,
yeah.
That is great.
Okay, so after the funeral, I kind of lost my mind and, everything just fell apart. I'm not using this as an excuse, but I had a relapse on cocaine. I had been clean for several years, and...
That was after you got a hold of that 35?
Yes. So for several days, I was kind of out in space. And when I pulled myself...
How much you smoke up of the money?
About $3,000. And so once I got myself back together, I contacted Megan and told her what I had done. And from there, she came back and got me, and we agreed that I would go to rehab, a residential program for 30 days, and afterwards we would get married and go on with our lives.
How many times had you done inpatient?
Once.
All right, you give me some background now.
Okay. Like he said, we met on Facebook, and everything started out great. He was great to me. He was great to the kids. He was probably the best man that I had ever been with at that point. Things progressed, and he was an open book. He told me about his addiction, that he had been clean for 3 years. And after a few months, I thought I could trust him with not only my life, but my children's lives as well. And that's when he moved in with us. And things were going pretty well until the mishaps with his daughter and then his mother passing. Then our relationship started to fail. And after I had went and picked him up, when he was doing the funeral arrangements, we got home and my mother called and said, "There's a voicemail on my answer machine you really need to come listen to." I got to my mother's, and it was his drug dealer saying he owed him $1,000, and he was sending people out to look for him.
What happened to the 35, sir? How was that divided?
We spent $10,000 on the funeral, so me and my brother split the additional 25.
Okay. All right. He didn't smoke his up, did he?
No.
Okay. All right. By the way, you won't hear me call you a crackhead, because I would call you a recovering addict.
Thanks,
because
sir.
You're doing right. You're telling the truth today so far. And you behave like a recovering addict.
Thank you,
as
sir.
opposed to someone who is still doing their thing and lying today about it. I call them crackheads. So congratulations to you. You tell me about the property. She sounds like she's getting into the specifics in terms of defending her actions that you allege she committed. So you tell me what happened, and then I'll allow her to get back into these specifics. Go ahead.
Okay, September 29th, the day before I was scheduled to go to rehab, she got the call from her mother, and she took off, went to her house, and...
Hold on. You returned home from your binge in July, right?
Yes.
So you kept smoking through up to September?
No.
You're going to rehab in September. Why didn't you do it in July?
Because at that time, I couldn't get into one.
Okay.
They had me on a waiting list.
Okay, and that position became available in September.
October 1st.
All right, so you tried
Yes.
in July. Got it. All right. And what happened?
The night before I was supposed to go, she came in and she said, "You gotta go. I don't want you anymore. You gotta leave."
Did you say, "I'm already going to rehab and we're trying to work this out"?
No, I was kind of dumbstruck and asked her what was going on, and she wouldn't elaborate. She said, "I just want you to go." Once I got there, I wrote her 15, 20 letters, asked them what was wrong, could we repair the relationship, questions about her and the baby, and she only responded with one letter saying, we were done. It was over with. There's nothing left. So
When did you find out about your property?
I didn't find out about the property until after I got out of rehab.
Mm-hmm. What happened?
She finally allowed me to talk to her in November, closer to Thanksgiving.
And what happened?
And I asked her, you know, could we make arrangements to come get my stuff? And she said there was no stuff. I threw it out.
Okay, and that's why you're suing. Ma'am, let me hear from you. You were about to tell me about, or you were telling me about a voicemail that sounded threatening. So you want to expand on that and then tell me what your defense is.
At that point, he said that Nick owed him $1,000 and he was sending people out to look for Nick and to recoup the debt. So at that point, I knew no matter how much I loved Nick, that he had to go. Because at that point, he was putting my life, my mother's life.
Did you know he was going to rehab the next day?
Yeah.
You thought you needed to get him out in the next 10 hours or 8 hours?
That night, because I didn't know when this man planned on showing up at my house.
And so what happened to his property?
After he left, I thought I didn't want them, you know, the drug dealer and whoever he was supposedly sending out to show up and look for Nick or any of his belongings to make up for that debt. So I donated them all to the local thrift shop.
You thought they would know? How would they know?
Wow.
I had no idea if they would or
So
not.
how would that stop them from coming?
Right.
Right. You giving his things away have nothing to do with stopping them from coming.
No, it didn't.
Correct.
Wow.
So you doing that is not a defense. What you should have done instead, if you wanted them to stop from coming in and robbing you, is give them his things. What were they?
Sir, I had an Xbox.
What you doing playing Xbox? What else? What else?
I'm sorry.
100 years old, out there talking, playing some Xbox.
I had a. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I had a MacBook
Okay,
Air.
a laptop. There you go. Talk about that. And what is this?
A computer. Oh, that's the Xbox.
Oh, no wonder. I guess that's why I don't even recognize them. How much is this computer
That
worth?
computer was $2,100 along with the programs that were with it.
All right, and I don't think it costs $3,500 today to get a laptop or a computer. I don't think the replacement value is that amount. No, it doesn't take $3,500 for no laptop. You're about to mess yourself up here.
To replace those particular models, it would.
These models are gone. They don't even have these models anymore. You're about to mess yourself up. Who do you think you're talking to? I might not know much about them, but I do know that. I know the reason I don't know much about them is because they change every year. And the models are no longer available once they change. So I just gave up on it long ago. I don't have time to keep relearning something new every year. taking my money? All right, sir. I'm going to grant you a judgment. I'm going to grant you $2,000, not $3,500, because, ma'am, your defense fails, saying that you gave his things away so that the drug dealers would not come there to look for them. In fact, the drug dealers wouldn't know that you gave them away, so that would not be a disincentive for them to come. It would have helped you had they come, and you say, well, here's a laptop, here's this, I hope this helps, but he's gone to rehab, and tell them what rehab he's in. That's how you get protected. You say, he in Port Huron, rehab, such and such, it's 30 days, so he should be back so-and-so, and he's not coming here, and here are his things. If I can help you further, I'll take your number, and when he comes back, I'll tell you where he's at. That's how you, if you really want to be protected. All right, $2,000 is your judgment. Good luck to you. Good to hear that you're committed to your recovery. Have a good day.
We got a baby. We got to stay cool.
For the baby, we can get along.